One of the biggest benefits that I've noticed since quitting smoking weed and quitting drinking alcohol and quite frankly quitting a bunch of different substances is my increased perception and day-to-day awareness involving the actions that I take and the decisions that I make. And this is a huge benefit when it comes to putting these substances aside, because if you're not aware of the decisions that you're making and the actions that you're taking, if you're not perceptive, chances are you're either getting taken advantage of or you're making dumb decisions. And that's what I can at least say about myself, reflecting back upon my experience with cannabis use and alcohol and all of that. And I think the easiest way for me to explain this video is to provide you with 3 different examples of how I've developed an increased level of awareness and perception when it comes to my business, when it comes to my family life, and when it comes to my personal life. Now, if you wind up enjoying the content in today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description links to learn more about our free ebooks and handouts on quitting substances, our one-on-one coaching programs, or our recently launched Addiction Mindset group coaching school community. Great place where you can get a lot of help if you're struggling with this stuff. So, increased awareness in my business. Thing number 1. The other day, not too long ago, I was about to sign up for a email marketing program, okay? And this program was designed to teach you how to write better emails. God knows if you're on my email list and you've downloaded some of my free stuff, it's not going to help my spelling, but it was, how to write a catchy title, how to get a good call to action, all of that. And the course in the program was about $5,000. And I signed up for their email marketing because I was interested in their course and their program. And I quickly realized something. I realized that I didn't have to spend $5,000 to take this course. All I had to do was pay close attention. I had to be perceptive and aware of the emails that they were sending me, trying to place me into their program. Because then I realized very quickly, wait a minute, this email marketing company is using their very own marketing to get me to this point to sign up to their email list. All I have to do is modify their titles, the body of their text, and their calls to action to my own field, to my own niche, and I can save myself $5,000. And that's exactly what I did. So instead of spending $5,000 on something, I was perceptive enough, I was aware enough to realize that I had already been given that something for free if I was just paying close enough attention. And then that triggered another line of thought. I have email marketing, copy people reach out to me all the time to write emails for Addiction Mindset and our programs and all that stuff, which I will never outsource because I enjoy doing that and this stuff is just too personal to me to outsource that. So if you are on our email list, just know I actually write every email. I respond to every email. If you're in our group community, it's actually me responding to every DM, every comment, okay? I realized, wait a minute, I have tons of catchy emails from these people. I can just start using the hooks that caught my attention. I can start using the body that caught my attention in the text. I can start using the call to action that caught my attention. So if you pay attention to things, this is one area, one of like probably 1,000 areas where I've been able to save money in my business without having to make an impulse decision or an irrational decision that quite honestly probably wouldn't have been worth the $5,000 anyways, because I didn't find this company's email marketing to be all that great. Another area in my life where I've noticed perception and awareness is in my family life. The interaction between my wife, myself, my 17-month-old baby boy, and myself when I am or when I am not on my phone is dramatic. Now, when I used to smoke, this is before I had a family, I would smoke and I'd just browse my phone for hours, just stroll off mid-conversation with friends. I could be out to a lunch or a dinner, just mindlessly checking emails, checking social media posts. This was before I was on social media. And I could do this for hours when I was stoned. It didn't matter. I could just get totally lost. And I realized so quickly, sober, how that impacts the people around you who you're interacting with and how they receive you, particularly my son. The difference between his level of engagement with me when I am not on my phone and when I am on my phone is significant. And look, that's not a shock to anyone. That's probably no surprise. It's not a surprise to me, but it's interesting having that perception and awareness to pick up on that and say, wait a minute, this behavior, me checking emails, making phone calls, whatever, is a big negative right now in the moment in my son's life when I'm busy with him playing toys or whatever. And having the awareness to pick up on that is going to have a direct impact on my relationship with him as a father and potentially even his development going forward as he's picking up on my behaviors, my actions, the things that I do day to day. And I can tell you, drunk Frank, stoned Frank, that version of me, never would have put 2 and 2 together, okay? And some people are going to be like, oh, that's obvious. For other people, it wasn't so obvious. For me, it wasn't. So that's one way in my family life, where having awareness and paying attention to how my family interacts with me and how I interact with them makes me better husband, better father all around, okay? Personal life, having more awareness, more perception. I am pretty acutely aware of things that make me feel good and make me feel bad, given I don't consume nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. Given I don't do those things, I'm pretty firm on I made this decision and I feel bad today, because there's not a lot of things I do that make me feel bad anymore. But like when I eat a certain type of food, right? Or let's say I do go on a social media content binge. I'm making this video after a bunch of hurricanes just hit Florida, and I got recently stuck into doom scrolling on TikTok shorts and YouTube short format video regarding the hurricane, okay? I got sucked into it hours before I went to bed. And it's interesting because I woke up the next day and I felt terrible. It was as if I had a hangover. Now, was that the direct impact of social media and just binging it for hours? Was that the direct impact of the type of media content that I was consuming? Something that was very depressing, very anxiety provoking? I don't know. I don't really care. All I know is that behavior, I was aware enough to wake up in the morning and say, okay, I know exactly what I did that made me feel the way that I feel right now. And I'm going to do my best to avoid doing that again in the future. I can say the same thing about eating certain foods. I can say the same thing about, not getting a good night's sleep for a few nights in a row. I'm very aware of why I feel the way I feel. And let's say I'm suffering in the moment. I'm typically very aware as to why that is. A lot of people, and I can say this as someone who's both an addiction recovery coach and as a chiropractor, someone who constantly talks to people about their health problems and things like that, okay? There are a lot of people, and I feel bad for some people because some people walk around and they've been totally shafted by medicine, totally shafted by the medical system, and they're looking for answers and they're not getting them because no one's giving them any help, okay? That is a problem that goes on, but let's exclude that. There's a lot of people that are doing things that if they just paid attention to what they were doing, if they had that level of perception and awareness in their own personal lives, they would be able to fix a lot of the problems that they're facing, or at the very least have an understanding and an explanation as to why they feel the way they do. And when we have an understanding, when we have an explanation as to why we feel the way we do, there's a lot less anxiety, there's a lot less depression, because then we know how to fix it. It's not this mystery, confusing type thing, okay? And I spent years in active addiction, THC, nicotine, heavy binge drinking on the weekends, adult media content. I spent years being unaware of what was going on in my business and the decisions that I was making. Despite having done relatively well, aside from substance use, even during substance use. I was very unaware in my relationships. I had several broken relationships throughout active addiction. And I certainly had almost zero awareness when it came to my personal life. The amount of money that I spent on doctor's appointments, different appointments involving medicine, seeking answers that really I truly knew the answers to, it was my crappy behavior that was causing these problems, is absurd. The amount of money that I spent just to get nowhere, just to get tossed around in the medical system, okay? So one of the biggest benefits of quitting smoking weed, and I think of the typical like weed meme thing, like, you ask someone a question and they're high and they're like, what? What'd you say? I'm sorry, huh? And I don't say that to be condescending or judgmental to anyone. It's just like, or the person who's all hungover, groggy, they wake up, can't find their car keys, don't know where they parked their car, just grabbing some crap food on the way out of the house because they woke up past their alarm. There's just no awareness. There's no perception there. Okay, it's just obliviousness, going through life oblivious to why your relationships are the way they are, why your business and your finances are the way they are, oblivious to why you feel the way that you feel. And for me, that was not a pleasurable way of living life. That's why I decided to make the change. I made the change into sobriety and becoming recovered from various substances that we help people with on this channel. Now, if you need help with this stuff, if you're like, yeah, I want to be more aware, or I could work on my awareness, I have a group coaching program, AddictionMindset School Group Coaching Community. If you join, I will personally send you a DM when you join, and we will talk a bit about your situation and what you have going on and get you some help. Option number 2, we got free PDFs and handouts that we have on our channel to help people quit. Option 3, we have a supplement line. Kick It Crave Less Chewing Gum. Contains ashwagandha and N-acetylcysteine. It helps reduce cravings. It helps increase a person's tolerance for stress, promoting a state of relaxation and calmness. Helps with focus, helps with sleep. It's an incredible product. It's a chewing gum to help with oral fixation, okay? Option number 4, we got one-on-one coaching programs for people who want privacy. There are a lot of things. And then I got over 1,000 videos talking about sobriety and the benefits of quitting weed and alcohol and stimulants and nicotine. Choose something. Do something. Don't do nothing, okay? Hopefully you're aware enough to do that. Until next time, guys.